Hello, and thank you for your interest in our independent digital archive. So let's start with who we are. We are the Lavender Archives. This is an homage to the Lavender Menace of the 1970s, and we are a remotely operated collective working towards sharing and promoting LGBTQIA+ artistic pieces from all over the globe. And this includes from history to the present. And as an independent archive, it is our hope that with contributors from all over, we can take back the narratives of our own stories through our art. Our collection will be a multimedia one. It's going to include not just photography, which obviously translates very well to a digital archive, but it's going to include paintings, it's going to include poetry, it's going to include film, interpretive dance, sculpture, woodworking, textiles. Whatever medium an artist prefers to work with, we want to be able to accommodate that and to share it with the world. So down to the nitty-gritty, we have the functional requirements. How should our users be able to browse? How should they be able to search? What other identifiers are necessary? So for that, we have under Browse, they should be able to browse by identity. That is to say, if they identify as gay, as lesbian, as non-binary, as bisexual, etc. And then also by the digital collection name. We plan on dividing our collections by common themes, if applicable, and so a user that is looking for, say, punk culture in the 80s, in the queer underground, they can be able to find something like that and more. Then we also have the search functions. So we have geography, the place of origin, the medium, is it a photograph, a video, etc. The title, the creator or creators, if it's a collaboration, and the language, which is ultra important if we want to actually become a global archive. And then we have the other identifiers, digital ID, digital format, for example, is it a video MP4, image JPEG, etc. Copyright, creator, biography provided by the creator, the description of the piece if the creator decides to provide one, subjects that are outside of identity, and then the type. So first, for metadata application, we have the mandatory and non-repeatable. That means that each of these has to be unique to each item. They are the digital ID and the title. The title is the title itself, followed by the year created, followed by the country of origin. So now we have the mandatory elements as well as the ones that can be repeated. Collection name obviously can be repeated because a collection has multiple pieces in it, and for the vocabularies used for all of these elements, we have the Library of Congress name authority file, Library of Congress subject headings, worldwide web consortium, date and time format, the Dublin core, art and architecture thesaurus, or local name authority file as appropriate. Many of our creators are not famous, and therefore their names will not officially be in the Library of Congress's naming authority files. So here are the examples from the previous slide's elements. If you notice the third one, that is the creator element, and those examples, the first one we have a traditional metadata application that is last name, comma, first name, just like in the Library of Congress name authority files. The second one we have for anonymous. For the display, it will simply say anonymous, but for the sake of keeping multiple pieces that may have been contributed together, we do anonymous, comma, and then the order that it was received by us. Due to the sensitive nature of our collections, we're not here to out anybody that doesn't want to be, or isn't ready to be, or isn't out to everyone. And so if they would rather not give an alias and just be completely anonymous, we have to have a way in order to accommodate that. Now we get into what we need if it is available. So one example of that is the description, and the description is also non-repeatable. As you can see in the bullet points, it should be provided by the creator if they so desire. Some have expressed the importance of allowing the viewer of the art piece to decide for themselves what the piece is, what it's about, and have thus not provided a description of the piece itself. And so each piece is unique, and therefore so should each description. So now we have the mandatory, if applicable, if provided, and repeatable elements. So we have the artist biography, which, again, there's a similar concern that they may not want to put anything about themselves, in which case, then we would leave that blank. If it was anonymous, obviously we wouldn't have an artist biography. Then we have geography. Again, like I said, the country of origin for the title, as well as any other aspects of location. So if they put it down to the city, even down to the neighborhood, some of the larger cities obviously have more famous neighborhoods, and so that we can include that in there as well. And then we have the language, and so those we will use the Getty geography names, as well as the art and architecture thesaurus. So here we have some examples of what we just discussed. So we have the location name, so like New York, Guatemala, Guyana. That would be the Getty preferred term for French Guiana. And we have language, we have Spanish, language, Haitian Creole, French, language. Just a quick note, we think it would be best to display city as appropriate. So, for example, New York City would be what is entered if that information has been provided to us, whereas the tag will simply say New York. Then, last but not least, we have the recommended, and that would be subjects outside of sexual and or gender identities, which, as I mentioned earlier, would be entered under identity. Now, should somebody submit their work and then not provide us a description, or maybe it's very abstract and the themes are kind of hard to decipher, then we probably would not include very many subject tags, if any. However, I do anticipate us putting subject tags more often than not, just because people are more than just their gender or sexual identity, and their art is also more than just their sexual or gender identity. And so I anticipate on having it run the gamut of subjects, topics, genres, etc. I actually can't stress that enough, that people, while their gender and sexual identities may be a huge part of their lives, as it is for most people, we are all so much more than our gender or sexual identity. This is an art collective. It's a historian's archive. It's a geographer's collective. It's an educator's resource. It is for and by everyone who is willing to learn and will seek out and benefit from our collections. And we provide a variety of materials, as I said, from a variety of eras, and by doing this, we can provide a more complete picture of what being queer actually looks like through our art, through our words, and through this collection. Thank you.